Force on Force features the largest and strongest outdoor military organization in the country. These are the men and women who make it possible to enjoy the freedom to hunt and fish. It is with great pride that we bring you the Force on Force podcast, coming to you from the Force on Force Talk.
Hey, welcome to the Force on Force podcast. I'm your host, Sean Dalrymple. We're back for season 3 of the Force on Force podcast here in the Force on Force Talk. We're starting this one off mobile. I know we've been a little bit delayed this year starting this podcast, but we've had a lot going on. We've had a lot of snow. Everything has kept us out. I mean, we've done a lot of deer hunting this year. We kicked off a new show in Coleman, Alabama, but we're here in Indianapolis for our show. What's really good is we got a couple of returning guests here. Actually, everybody's returning on the podcast, really.
Yeah.
We got KB, who's he's always on the podcast, and then we got Rory Lane. and then we got Nick from MotorMate, one of our big partners here. And we're going to have a really interesting conversation with Nick here because it's a really cool story we talk about here in a few minutes, but I think that's one of the neat things about what we do. But yeah, so a lot of going on and a lot of cool things that we're doing this year. But yeah, this is our first podcast of the year. We love doing these on the road, so that's a good thing. So, kind of great. And what's really been cool is we've been busy. One of the cool things with MotorMate is we've had our FXR, Skeeters, and a lot of different shows this year around the country. And,
yes, we have.
Yeah, KB's was in Columbus or Cincinnati?
Columbus,
yeah, both of them. And then we were in East Tennessee Fishing Show and then the Detroit Boat Show. And now we're in Indianapolis. And in this one, we actually have our bona fide kayak here. So we're like repping like big time here, all wrapped up and representing ArmyBassAnglers. So it's been a good thing. So I know, KB, how you doing? How's it going for you right now?
Busy. Real busy.
Yeah. So KB's doing a lot of work. Roy,
you're always keeping me busy.
Well, don't let him lie to you.
Did he shave your back again?
No.
No, he gets a wax now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he I took him hunting after the last show. So
that was awesome.
He's not telling the story. He's been hunting like an awful lot.
Well, I still work. Still had to film and do all that other stuff.
Yeah. So,
but I enjoy it.
And this is heavy time for you guys, isn't it, Nick?
Yeah, this is our busiest time of year. We get out and talk to people left and right, get to see a lot of our customer base, and also train a lot of people.
Yeah.
What MotorMate is. So.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool because it's a neat product. I think I am a big proponent. I love when I talk to people. Like one of my favorite takeaways from it is not just that you don't want to have all that bounce on your lower unit coming off your trailer with traditional, transom saver, but it protects your steering system and all that stuff. I always tell them if you accidentally leave one of those on, it stays on the motor. And it flips around in the cavitation plate in between the prop and the cavitation plate. And I would know this because I've had it happen once or twice. It's like the commercial says, I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two.
Yeah. Well, I put a new one on mine because I done the same thing in Benner, and they actually replaced it.
Yeah. Well, but the good thing is on that one, if you do leave it on, you're not having, that's what, because I've left it on. If you leave it on and you won't trim down, or if you do come up and trim down, it's not going to go into any major components of the motor. And I think that's really a good piece.
How do you forget to take it off?
Hey,
have you not ever forgot to take it off?
No.
How many times you forgot to put your plug in?
I don't have to. I got an automatic plug.
No, now. Well, how about now? I mean, now you do, but beforehand, How many times have you?
Well, that was quite a few because it's hell getting down on my knees and everything, crawling under there.
Yeah, so we all have something that we've done.
The good thing, though, is even after I ran it all day, I put it back on the trailer.
So you ran it all day?
I ran it all day. I fished the whole tournament because I just tilted my motor up.
Yeah.
Forgot it was there, and it fell down. It actually fell down. It was just hanging off the brackets, and I ran all day.
Oh,
really?
wow.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, I mean,
that's awesome. It didn't come off or anything.
Yeah, that's actually a testament to the product itself, because I think if you look at it from a couple of things, protection of your motor going down but because you made a mistake, error, whatever you want to call it, only thing it was really damaged was the MotorMate itself. No major damage to, I mean, and I would tell you, all the other ones ever like there's you do something you're gonna damage something to your lower unit or something like that, and I think that's just I didn't know you had left it on that. No wonder it was bit. You left it on
72 mile an hour across the lake.
So no wonder it was bit. Yeah, that makes perfect sense right there. But that just is a testament to how well that how sturdy it is, and the fact that you can do that. So yeah, that was an interesting story. Speaking of, we might as well go ahead and get that out of the way. I know you'll bring it up. Yes, I did flip the kayak.
I saw the video.
You all got to watch it. Go to our Facebook page. It's awesome.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I flipped my Bonafide XTR 130 back in November. I had to call 911, get me out of the river. But there's a lot. I've got a video talking about. We're gonna put it up about how all that was kind of minimized.
But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He was testing out a new trolling motor and seeing how it worked on a kayak and everything, and so it was a good thing.
Yeah.
For the ranch.
Yeah, I pushed that trolling motor to the limit, and we know like everything will do. I hit something, and that's what flipped it. But that's just one of those things when you're testing, and that's one thing. Like being in the military, and that's one thing they like coming to me. I'm used to being what testing is, to push it to its limit. But if you're gonna do that, and you're talking about just doing it from a perspective of how we do testing, the first rule of thumb is you got to be equipped to do it, meaning like you got to have all the proper safety gear and everything like that. And that is the reason that I'm standing here today. I mean, my wife gets frustrated with me because I make it out to be not that big a situation.
Oh, she was really frustrated.
It actually happened on Thanksgiving Day, and everybody's probably wondering like what I was doing on the water on Thanksgiving Day. But
we all do. We go fishing or hunting.
Well, we didn't have Thanksgiving dinner till that night, and I thought, well, I got the Salt River right there, and been catching some good fish. I thought I'd go out there and just do some stuff, and got some time this morning, knock it out. And so I was more mad because I missed Thanksgiving dinner than I did than I did today. And here's the irony of the whole situation. I had like 8 rods with me. I think I only lost like 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I kept all my tackle boxes.
But your Lowrance, talk about your Lowrance. How
Yeah.
underwater?
Oh my goodness. So this is the really cool thing. We know for at least the 911 call lasted 30 minutes because I went back and looked at the phone. First thing I'll tell you guys, this goes back to my time as a young lieutenant in 82nd Airborne Division. I never hunt or fish without my phone being tethered to me. That's just something that I do. And so because of that, I'm able to call 911 pretty easily because the phone had been underwater probably 4 or 5 minutes when I worked around to the side of it and was where I could stand. Just a short side of it, the bank was just too steep to climb out at that point. No way to get out. And if you get back out in the current, I wasn't sure I could get back, even with my life preserver on back to. So I'm like, the thing that you do in the military is just assess the situation and say, just best to call 911 and have them come. But so we know the 911 call at least lasted 30 minutes because it showed it on the phone. So I figured that it was underwater for about 4 or 5 minutes, my phone was. And then once the fire rescue got to me, they had to take me back to the bank. And so it's probably another 10, 15 minutes. They were kind of gracious. The Shepherd, and I can't say nothing about the Shepherdsville Fire Department rescue. They came and got me. Not just that they came and got me, but they recovered my kayak for me. And so that's how that kayak was probably upside down for over an hour underwater. The top of it was. And
the GoPro even shows it underwater going blip, 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 blip.
Yeah. So
the sound.
So what KB's alluding to is the fact that my Lowrance Elite FS10 and my Active Target 2 box, and even my Recon, even the Recon, because the head of the Recon was underwater, even the bracket and mount, everything. There is not a single problem with any of that stuff being underwater for over an hour. I was shocked. I mean, the fact that how good the seals, nothing. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. 100%, everything works just fine. Fished with it since then. I was like, wow, this is just a testament to how, you want. And we know that it withstands the rain, but I mean, you turn it upside down underwater. That's not
different.
That's not normal conditions, That's not a normal conditions of how you operate. Kind of like KB leaving it on, running and fishing all day long with the MotorMate, right? That's not a normal condition. So yeah, so that's some of the reasons why we've been busy. A lot of things, having to recover from that, doing some stuff, a lot of deer hunting, but just a busy time for us. But we got a couple of new partners this year. Vicious Fishing Line came on. It's a Greg at Vicious. He's been a long time friend of mine. I've worked with him. This really goes back to a relationship I've always had since college fishing, and it was great to have them come on and do some stuff with us. And of course, you know, we've got our great guys at MotorMate and the guys at Lawrence and all those partners that help make us what we do along the way.
Yeah,
Skeeter.
Monster Bass is coming out with all kinds of new stuff.
If you hadn't seen we're just talking before we got on this podcast. Actually, Nick's about to get to them. They got their Monster Bass 3700 style boxes. They're waterproof, but they got some new ones. Their crankbait, their jig box,
And spinner.
yeah, spinnerbait box that you can get off. If you hadn't seen them, go to their website and you can buy them directly from there. And then the Grande Bass, man, they've got some cool baits, which is part of Monster Bass. That some especially
He's got knives.
yeah.
Hunting stuff on there
Yeah.
now. It's amazing what he has on that website.
So, that Airtail and that Grande Bass, it's pretty neat. It's a little bit different from every other finesse worm out there, I think, because that tail floats so well.
Oh, our new hat's coming out this year.
Oh, yeah. We'd be missed. So if you go to our website, we got the new website up, ArmyBassAnglers.com, and we got the new shop up and running. We got new hats, so new leather patch hat, laser engraved patch hats, black or brown. You just make the choice and we get those shipped out to you. So we just make them on the spot. If you're at a show, we'll make whatever brand, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine. We kind of went away from those for a little while just because it's stocking that many to now the technology's got to where we can just buy the patches and buy fewer hats and be able to keep them going. So that's a good thing. So we're doing that, and we got some buck hunter ones also, but they're a vinyl rubber patch. So we're going to run through those before we get to the leather one. But yeah, that's good. But yeah, the new website
is awesome.
New website's pretty awesome, and they've made it easier to sign up for Army Bass Anglers.
Yeah, so signing up for Army Bass Anglers is the easiest it's ever been. We basically made it about a 2-step process. Just go in there and click, that want to contact us and join, and it just asked, your branch of service and a couple of other things. It'll, which task force, bass, buck, hog, or duck, and then which branch, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and we'll just send you an email back and be able to pay the membership thing. And what that does is give you access to our base camp and all our great partners like MotorMate here that, and be able to access some great discounts out there that support us. And we get asked a lot, like what that membership, how that equates to what? Well, I had one of the task force guys up last weekend here at Indy come up talk to us, and I always say this about the task force: they don't realize how much they do, because what happens is the more product that they buy through our partners, that allows us to go do what we do with the nonprofit. So in 3 weeks, we'll go to the Toby, the Texas Oldman's Bass Invitational, and we're going to give a whole bunch of stuff to the Toby, and that stuff will turn into probably, it usually goes about $50,000 or $60,000 that they cut a check to the Texas Children's Hospital renal unit, and I couldn't do that if that wasn't for the task force, because I tell them we're not able to do that if we're not having all that effort with the partners.
Yeah, you just don't realize how much task force means to us and the help they give us and all that, and that I give a shout out to every one of them right now.
Yeah, and I always feel kind of humbled, because I'll be up there and I'm kind of the face when we do it, but when we're up there presenting or doing something at one of those, I always feel like this is a representation of all you guys, all the task force, because we wouldn't be able to give that. And then, and the big part of when we do the stuff, the fundraising at the booth, that's how we get that stuff done. And so, that's why we get to do a lot of that, helping Folds of Honor, the Toby, and then what we do now with the Army Bass Angler Foundation with the Fishing for Freedom event.
You can go read about that on our Facebook page too.
Yeah, so a lot of good stuff. Getting into the year, Classic will be in a couple of weeks, and then we'll be at Toby, and then we're going to go to Red Crest in April,
Mm-hmm.
They're in Springfield, Missouri. So we always kind of help MLF out with their kids.
Big, famous Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah. You ever been to that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
One of
why.
my friends, all the chairs out front, with the wood was bent and everything.
Yeah.
He helped build all that.
Wow.
When he was before he joined the Army.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was stationed there. So, Fort Leonard was just down the road. So I was always up there chilling out. But yeah. So I thought this podcast would be kind of fun because we got Nick here.
Nick was just waiting, saying, hope he forgets.
So we could get him to lean into you guys should pick the mic up if you want. You don't have to lean into it. So so Nick brought his daughter over to us night before last.
Yeah.
So interesting enough, he brings his daughter over to us and he's like, she's going to enlist in the National Guard tomorrow. So I think that we were laughing, but it's just kind of fun to like. He wanted her to come over and talk to us and kind of give her some encouragement. And so kind of talk about that I don't think we've ever had a discussion from a parent's perspective of what that means and kind of how that.
Yeah, I don't think we have either.
I think it would be kind of cool to kind of hear that perspective.
So about 3 weeks ago, McKenna came to us and said that she's thinking outside the box. School is not for her quite yet. She is at Ball State enlisted. And she said that after some soul searching that she thinks that she needs a kick in the rear and wants to grow up a little bit. And she thinks the National Guard would be the best place for her to do that. So on her own, she started this whole process before letting us know. She let us know once she got her date, which she was going to have to come down to Indy and go through the process.
Yeah, maps. That's not an uncommon story. We hear a lot of that's the way it is. The parents are usually the last ones but I mean, I guess from an emotional standpoint, how was the news not knowing that and that kind of like, because that's a life-changing decision right there.
100% respect. I mean, that's the first thing that came over me. And I was excited for her taking a stance and trying to change her life for the better in the future and actually thinking forward. McKenna, being who she is, was really into what was now.
Yeah.
And this is a huge change for her to start thinking forward. So I was excited for her. I think this is going to be a great thing for her to go and do and be able to expand her horizons and now realize who the person she really is.
Now
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, and we asked your wife who's here, how was her feelings about it?
So she was like, really? Like, is she doing this or she's not going to do it? She's like, no. And then when we saw her down at the show, we didn't know it was going to be this week. And she invited us to go to the ceremony. Chris said, she's really going to do this. And I said, yeah, let's encourage her. She needs everything that we can put behind her to get her going. So she's standing up with her as well. So
yeah, I just say that because moms
they're different.
Well, because I was a platoon leader, company commander in Afghanistan. I still had a mom, and they still don't want to see, their kid because they still you're a commander. Yep. They still look at you.
That's my baby.
That's my baby. They still look at you as a kid, right? That's kind of reason I asked. It's different. There's two different perspectives from a parent's perspective.
Sure. Yeah, and with her, it was something that we were trying to get and teach her. I think it really hit core when, over the last year that she needed to make a change. She needed to stop thinking about herself and started thinking about what her future is going to hold. And she has no idea. And she thinks this is going to get her going. And once Chris heard it from her perspective, she was 100% on board with it.
I think a lot more younger kids and adults need to start thinking that way.
Correct. Yeah, 100%.
So, like, how many times have you seen that commercial on TV where that exact, because they do that commercial where the kid comes in to talk to their parents and tell them that they're enlisting in the military. So you lived that commercial, didn't you?
Yeah. And it really wasn't as bad as the commercial. So, so don't fret, I guess, if any of your parents have kids that are about that 18 years. I feel that it's a huge step. It's very positive.
It is, because there's so much that comes out of that. I mean, there's so much good that can take place from it. You know, we just, we're all standing here, KB, myself, Roy. I mean, I'm where I'm at today because my choice I made at 19 years old.
Me too. You know,
I know.
I'm a manager in a major factory,
Mhm.
no schooling. So, and it was all based off, you know, what the Marine Corps done for me.
I know, and everybody said, I would have done it, you know. Hell, I made a decision. It was easy to see that recruiting station down there, and they could have done the same thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't tell my parents. I went and signed up.
I was already signed up and heading to MEPS before my parents
Yeah,
knew.
I was the same way.
But I was married, though, so it didn't matter.
Yeah. How'd your parents take it when you?
I lived on a pretty good sized farm, so my dad was not real happy with me because, you know, I was living,
Me
you know,
too.
so my mom was worried. But after I got done and they actually came down for my boot camp graduation and, you know, they were super proud of me, still super proud of me. So it was a great decision in my life because it helped me out. It helped me grow up a lot.
Yeah, I think that's why I wanted that to kind of share, because I don't think we've talked about a lot of things like first time away from home, like spouses away from home, but from a parent's perspective, I think that's pretty unique. You know, that's why you'll hear me talk about, and I think we may have talked about it, but Rory knows this. I got a book coming out here in a couple of months, and I talk about my time in the military and some of the things, but I always believed that being an officer was the most important job in the United States, because I always said that as an officer, a young lieutenant, even a captain, you're given the sons and daughters of the American public and asked to help finish them grow up and bring them back in better condition than they were given to you. And
Now you got to count us non-commissioned officers in on that too.
Well, I
we
agree.
raise them more than y'all do.
That's for sure.
but I think I just say that because we all have that same instinctively in us in the military.
Yes.
And that's what I was trying, I'm trying to get across to people, that's why, you know, as parents, you understand that's how we feel about everybody that's underneath us. And you take that attitude and you care about people, because that's what makes us successful.
We want to make them succeed and be a better person.
Yeah. We help them finish growing up, because, you know, that's a hard thing to let your 18-year-old child go off, you know, enlist in the military. Because I mean, for some of us, I've took 18-year-olds to combat, you know, and that's a hard thing when you're a parent. I mean, so as an officer, I always felt that, and I know the enlisted feel the same way, but I always felt that was a tremendous responsibility that's placed upon me. I mean, I don't know any other profession, and that's why I say it's the most important profession, whether it's officer or enlisted. I don't know any other profession that has that endowed upon them like that, with such life. You know,
I don't think anybody else has that put on me. I don't care whether it's making them grow up, get experience, training, and all that, you know, and help them with it.
But it's also the safety part, bringing them back, that, you know, in better condition. And that's why I say I don't know anywhere else that. I mean, teachers do wonderful things for them, coaches do wonderful things for them, all that, but none of them have that responsibility to take them to combat and bring them back like we do.
No.
They do. Now, here, as we get towards the end, the funnier part of this was, so she was talking about jobs that she might go into. We were giving her,
she had three of them she was picking from.
and Roy was giving her like tips, like how to get the right jobs. And so there's a whole thing like, and so one of them was communication signal stuff. And I had a good perspective on that because I'd done it before. And I have a good perspective of the National Guard too. I think I'm probably one of the few people have such a respect, both active and Guard, because I spent 2 years in National Guard when I was in college. And that's how I tell people I always pay my boat payment when I was in active duty. But also I had a platoon attached to me from the Arizona National Guard when I was a company commander. And I love those guys. They were awesome. Like, they were our best active duty group. So anyways, we're talking about this. And so one of the things she was going to do was water treatment specialist. So he came back in today and told us this morning she went and did it, and we asked her what job she finally chose, and it was water treatment specialist. So only thing I could think of when she said that was the movie In the Army with Pauly Shore. He chose the water treatment specialist. And so So immediately they knew exactly what I was talking about, and everybody he's smiling right now, laughing because we all.
Yeah, Nick's gonna go home and have her watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't deploy until August, so that is going to be on her docket that she must do before she leaves. So
Yeah.
She got to talk just like him when she goes to boot camp.
I think they'll remember her quite a bit then if she does that.
Yeah, we told her we'd find out where she was going. We might know some people there. We'd make sure that she got extra special attention.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's good. We got a lot of stuff going on, but I just thought that would be a unique, interesting story for our first podcast to kind of share as we're here in Indianapolis, wrapping up the second weekend of the Indianapolis Boat and RV and Travel Show here. Seen a lot of people. We got 2 more days of this, and it's going to be a cool year to start. I mean, big thanks to, MotorMate for being partners with it. You can go to our website. We actually have the MotorMates up on our website now. You can, we made it easy. You go to MotorMate's website, but we got them on our website. You're looking for, every kind of engine we've got it on there. They're working on some stuff for some newer engines out there that they don't have right now. So, if we don't have your engine listed, I know that there's plans and works in the future to get there. And so keeping that in mind, it's just an awesome way to trailer your boat.
Everybody go and like Army Bass Anglers on Facebook, and you'll see the announcement of everything new coming out before anybody else does.
So one of the cool things that we're going to do is we're going to do a MotorMate giveaway on the Facebook page and Instagram page. And so you'll see details about that. And so that's going to be kind of a cool thing. We're going to do some of that with some of our other partners, but we kind of want to take the time to kind of, hear with Nick and let him share a story, but also share how much, how and I didn't know that KB had such a unique story with the MotorMate. So it just kind of worked out. Right? It kind of worked out. So, so that's cool. But, as we go into 2026, like I said, go check out all our social media pages. If you want to know more about us, go to ArmyBassAnglers.com and you can find out more about us. If you want to know more about the foundation, go to ArmyBassAnglersFoundation.org and you can see about what we do with the foundation and Fishing for Freedom. And so, if you want to know about membership, like I said, KB already mentioned ArmyBassAnglers.com, and we'll see you next time. Cool.
Hoorah.
Thanks for listening to the Force on Force podcast. Join us next time as we dive into more topics from the Force on Force talk. For more information or how to join our organization, visit ArmyBassAnglers.com.